Alright, going to do a Madden 10 review. True to my word, I did not buy the game. Essentially what happened was I went over to a party last night, of course, Redskins-Ravens, big rivalry here in the area. And after the game, one of my friends decided he was going to go out and buy the game. He did, and he got back, and we probably spent about 4 hours playing it on All Madden, taking turns through a Ravens franchise. And I probably got to play it, 2 or 3, maybe 4 full games. And like I said, then I got to watch, probably about 3 hours of gameplay. So I feel like I've got a good grasp of it. I'm not going to buy it. If somebody wants to sell me a copy on here, send me a PM. If somebody wants to let me know if they're going to put it up on eBay, send me a PM. But eBay, GameStop, is how I'm going to get this game. First off, I'll start with presentation, and it's second to none. It was probably the best presentation I've seen in an NFL game. The only thing that has me concerned is how repetitive is this stuff going to get. Like I said, in the 4 hours I had with the game, some of the cutscenes were already getting too repetitive. And another thing I noticed is during some of the cutscenes, the clock continued to run, and that's not good. Graphically, again, game, superb. You can really tell that they did take a little extra time this year to get in some of the intricacies of players' uniforms. Just knowing, having way too much knowledge of how Raven players wear their uniforms, through wristbands and armbands and everything. You could tell that they did do a rather good job of replicating players on an individual basis. The passing game was good, better than I expected actually, but the animations are still killing this thing. The over-the-head catch, which replaced the spin catch, is used way too much. It seems like it's the only animation they have for a receiver that's being led with the ball. Especially seemed like the only animation that was ever used when a ball was thrown on a check down to a halfback or a fullback. And the problem with that is you're throwing behind the line of scrimmage to probably barely get to the line of scrimmage to begin with, and you've got a player that once he catches it has lost all his momentum and balance, and you're just susceptible to getting hit. A big thing I had a problem with was wide receivers and cornerback interaction. It seems like the cornerbacks, even the linebackers, when they cover a tight end, seem to know your route better than you do. And if you talk to any receiver, if you ever watched interviews with the receivers even, they'll tell you that a big thing they do is to make their bodies, look exactly the same. They want every route to look exactly the same, and they don't want to, have any little, movement they do tip off a defensive back to what they're going to run. So they want to look the same, running out of every route. And it really looks like the defensive backs know your route better than you do. Definitely the linebackers are all over the tight ends in this game. And the big issue I saw, especially with slants, was a cornerback can get in front of your wide receiver and you can do nothing to pass him. He just slows you down even if you're faster. It's almost like they just bump into each other. And you're stuck. The wide receiver can't change lanes. It's almost like they're running on the same path. The rushing game still had issues with it. The defensive line interaction is still terrible. I don't know if they're going to patch this, but they need to find a way to fix it. But it hasn't been fixed in 2 or 3 years. So a big thing I noticed that I picked up from in the demo is the fullback runs along the same route as the halfback. It's almost like they're running, in a train track almost, and they just simultaneously run on the same track. The fullback somehow has eyes in the back of his head and knows where the halfback's running, and obviously that's great from a blocking perspective, but it's extremely unrealistic when you've got your fullback zigzagging in front of you just because he's mimicking your moves. Another big thing, it goes back to the pitches and sweeps are still broken, just as they were in the demo. For you people that leave me comments that say, cut back, I don't know where you learned to play football. You do not cut back on pitches. You do not cut back on sweeps. If you want a prime example, you can look no further than Barry Sanders. He led the NFL in negative yards. Those came back to haunt him because he did not, surpass Walter Payton all-time in yardage. And, do a little research and you'll find that Barry Sanders was criticized very much for his juking and dancing around in the backfield. trying to make something out of nothing that more often than not left him with negative yards and hurt his team. So I'm not taking a hit on Barry Sanders. I think Barry Sanders is the best running back ever. He's probably in the top 5 of my favorite players of all time, but I'm not stupid enough to look past the fact that he definitely did dance around in the backfield way too much, and that is not how you run pitches and sweeps, by cutting back against your blocking. The biggest issue I had with Madden this year, apart from all the gameplay issues that sadly I expected to be in there, was the Madden shop. And I urge everybody, whether you like my opinions or videos or not, please take a stand against this Madden shop. And in order to understand it, we're going to have to come up with the truth here, that a lot of children buy this game, a lot of parents buy this game for their kids, and those said parents are going to give their kids $5 to shut them up and let them spend money at Madden shop rather than tell them no. So what's going to eventually happen is Madden will be nickel and diming you for options that should be in the game, and that is not good. This is a company that once tried to charge us for throwback uniforms, alternate uniforms, and if they see any type of success out of this Madden shop, they will not hesitate to charge us for anything. So please take a hard stand against that. Let EA know you're not happy with this. This is not an option that you like. You're not willing to pay for things that should be in the game. And furthermore, the interviews I saw and read with Ian Cummings, he said that the game was, aimed toward realism and being realistic, and big head mode would be taken out and things like that. Well, in Madden Shop, I saw things that were very unrealistic, like a 5% attribute gain to all players for one play. I don't know where that comes in realistically. So, I guess they're willing to charge you for things that are unrealistic, but don't want to incorporate them in the game. I don't know. To me, that is just a far cry from what I expected from Madden Shop. I don't know what I expected, but I definitely did not expect to be charged for things that were once free in the game, or charged for almost a cheat when it comes down to it. And you talk about a 5% attribute gain to all your players for one play going against the computer. Overall, I think the game obviously far improved from last year. That doesn't say much when you take into consideration what last year was. Still not where Madden should be. Still not living up to the hype that it probably never could have, in all honesty. And still has major fundamental football issues. I still will buy the game used and try to put up some critique videos, but overall, in my 4 hours with it, after the first 45 minutes to an hour, the issues seem to become prevalent and seem to deter from the overall fun of the game. So that's pretty much how I feel about it, and I guess the next video you see from me will be once I finally have the game. And like I said, anybody willing to sell a copy, anybody going to put a copy up on eBay, send me a PM, I'll PayPal you some cash, and you can send it on out. Until then, I guess I wish everybody the best with it. If you can look past these issues and still have an enjoyable game experience, then that's great. Unfortunately, there's some of us out here that can't get past these glaring gameplay issues and enjoy the game.